Goodness me, I have no idea what's going on. Give me 2 seconds. Rightio then, I don't know what's going on. We're going to have to just crack on with it as it is tonight. Bear me 1 second. I'm just trying to get the stream up. I can't. It's helpful. Oh dear, what have I done? I don't know what I'm doing here. Sorry, guys. Bear me 1 second whilst we try and get things running. Obviously, what we'll do is we'll transfer this over. What is going on here? Come on. Here we are. We'll get the stream posted. Right. If we're going. I hope we're going anyway. Bear with me 1 second whilst I collect my thoughts, and we'll get cracking hopefully now. Missed half of qualifying already. Sorry about this. We'll get there eventually. YouTube is playing games with me today, so I am hopefully commentating and hopefully live. But if not, we'll hopefully we're live. But if not, then we'll just figure it out and put it up on the correct YouTube channel after this. But what the hell is going on? Right, can I please get the stream up? Why can't I open it in the app? There we are. Fantastic. I believe we are here. I think we're here. Anyway, right. Good stuff indeed. Well, we've got started, I believe, right now, and hopefully you can hear me as well. Bear me 1 second. I'll just do a quick test. Testing. Oh yeah, you could. Oh goodness me, you could hear me. That's horrible. Right, we're rolling. And we've got 10 minutes left of qualifying. How do we manage that then? Fantastic stuff indeed. Yes, like I said at the beginning of this, we're having some YouTube technical difficulties as per usual. So what we'll do is we will get the stream uploaded to the ALR YouTube straight after this race. But at the moment, it's going to be streamed on my YouTube for whatever reason. So make sure you watch it again on the ALR YouTube channel. But there we are. Then we have got some times on the board already. Then as we go through the order, then unfortunately, very sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. But we are now, fingers crossed, we're underway at least. So there we are. But yeah, like I said, it will be switched over to the ALR YouTube channel after the race, hopefully within the hour or so after the race as well, to be fair. So yeah, this is the most views I've ever got on a stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. As Ethan has said, YouTube keeping you on your toes, and even all as well, then definitely keeping me on my toes for sure. And oh, there you are, says Mushroom. Then yes, so I was hiding in another channel. So there we are. So good stuff indeed. We've got to go through the order. Then I haven't even started yet because the stream has been playing silly buggers with me then, but we have got some debutants then. One of this man then, Groove Ninja, then is stepping into the seat then for the Williams team. Then he is unfortunately replacing, well, not unfortunately for him, but unfortunately Stephen Anthony having to retire early this season. Then hopefully he is a-okay then with whatever is going on in his personal life there as well then, but hopefully we'll see him back in some shape or form as well then. And Chlorine Pilot has stepped into the McLaren as well then. He's currently P7 then for the Papaya team as well to go through the second Lesmo. And a bit of teamwork there going on for the McLarens as well as we head down towards the Scari then. But that's getting a bit close, or indeed, I should say. But thankfully, they've sorted themselves out then. As I said, if you're just joining us, then we will get the stream sorted onto the ALR channel then in just a jiffy after the race. And unfortunately, you're stuck on my channel for the live action, that is. But of course, go back and watch it in almost live on the ALR YouTube channel in just a few moments after the race has finished. Fantastic. And there we go then. Mr. Elite then up into P5. Then we'll run through the order as it is because there's quite a few drivers that I've missed. Then Rocket Lee then is reserving point then in place of a Ferrari of Winnie. Then he's currently on pole position then in P1 then with an 18.6. Reflection at the championship leader then 18.7. Then full reflection on the front row of the grid. Then Styles then after a fantastic run of form then in the last few races then is P3 tonight as well then with a 19.3. Chlorine Pilot then on his full-time debut, then his P4, then on the second row of the grid, then looking good indeed. Then both McLarens looking strong with a 19.5 for Sam, then in P5. Mr. Elite then P6, then for the Alpine Machines. Dynamo Dan, championship contender, then looking to get himself back in the mix as well, then in P7. Then DeCanco up into P8, then with a good time indeed. And Housley P9, Vintage rounding off the top 10 as it stands. Stead then is back out on the soft compound tyres, then he's looking to improve on a 20.6, then in P11 currently. Real Ashton is coming back out then as well in P12. Groove Ninja is looking to improve on P13. And I'm sure we'll find some time then on this lap as well. And let's see what that Williams driver is going to do on his full-time debut. And he comes up to the line then to set a 1 minute 19.6, then puts himself P8 then right behind his teammate then very nicely indeed, very snug indeed from the Williams outfit. Rosa Sky then on circuit as well, then Smithy Almighty also on circuit, as is Liam as well. Then Wabstappen, a new debutant then in ALR, then he's reserving in place of Jake the Slayer, which is definitely not allowed then. Saying as someone who's just come back from holiday as well then, but there we go then. As you can tell, my voice is already going. Then Liam then comes up to the line. It's P10 for Liam with a 20.0 on the dot almost, and Stead then improves to P12 with a 20.4 as well. Then on the soft compound tires, we've had somebody else jump up the order. It was Smith the Almighty. Then on to the second row of the grid then for Ferrari. Then at their home Grand Prix, both Ferraris looking pretty strong then in this qualifying outfit as it stands. And Andy has said, YouTube trying to stop us watching this peak racing action indeed. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, like I said, technical difficulties have meant you're watching on my channel. And I am Knowlesy80k if you didn't notice. But yeah, we'll get, usually I do commentate on bronze, so it's a familiar voice, even though my voice is already going. Yeah, we'll get it all sorted and we'll put it onto the ALR YouTube channel after this race is finished. So it won't be too long then before it's up on its original platform, or its proper platform, I should say then. But there we go. Then Rosa Sky improves to P3 with a 19.1, puts himself ahead of Styles then onto the second row of the grid then as it stands. And is that a bit of team play going on down at Williams there as well? Then Dynamo Dan, then Groove Ninja in a bit of teamwork and then into... Oh dear, where's he gone? He's gone flying off then as Groove Ninja. Yeah, a bit of team play down at Williams. Then Liam then is coming back to the pit. He's got himself P12 as it stands. Stead also back into the pit lane as well then. Hakuza has got a qualifying ban, unfortunately, I think, for him for no footage there. Get your footage in after the race then. And Wabstappen then is going through on his debut then into Ascari. Then unfortunately he's not burning any of the battery then, so he might have to go again then on his next attempt. Oh, he is burning battery now though, so never mind, ignore me. Real Ashton then looking to improve then through Ascari as well then for the Red Bull driver. And we'll go back to Wabstappen then to see what he's up to then into the parabolic, and then the final corner then to set his first time then of his ALR career. Then what's it going to be on the board? Then it's a 21.7 then, but unfortunately he didn't use much of the battery on that occasion, so maybe he's just setting his sights there for a later attempt in this qualifying session. I say later attempt then, but we're running out of time already then to get ourselves into the race very soon, because I've missed most of qualifying, or half of it at least then, but we'll crack on. Real Ashton then P13, then Liam then in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich as it stands then in P12. Both the Williams, then here comes Dynamo Dan, he's P3 with a 19.0 then, and improves, and I think there was a bit of a tow there going on for the Williams team from Groove Ninja as well then, so there's good teamwork down at Williams to try and rival the Ferraris, the Aston Martins, the Kick Saubers and the Racing Bulls and all sorts of all the Italian teams basically, apart from Aston Martin, that is. So there we go then. S-tier YouTube channel, says Flippy then. Sandwich, says Mushroom, I think referring to the Red Bull sandwich that he was in, or Liam was in, sorry, I should say. But there we go. Hi Alex, and hi all racers, and good luck. Bronze from Kamara Racer as Rocket Lee has rocketed further ahead in pole position. Then he's got himself an 18.5 then to set the benchmark then for this qualifying. I think that might be Rocket Lee's qualifying done and dusted. I can't see because of the yellow flags, but hopefully we'll have Oh dear, it seems to be getting a bit feisty down at the Parabolica, doesn't it? There's all sorts of action here. 2 minutes left of qualifying. Then Red Bull of Real Ashton back in the pit lane. How is he starting off a lap? Then he's P14 currently then, but looking to improve on that time. We'll come back to him then as we've got Mr. Elite coming through the Curva Grande indeed, and second Lesmo then for San. So we'll go on board with the McLaren driver then and see what he's up to here as well then. He might be getting a very distant tow from that kick sour as we go through into Sector 3. Then he's gone purple in Sector 2, a 3/10 improvement. Oh no, that's not an improvement indeed. That's a crash into the wall then, and San is out of qualifying. Oh dear. That car is not in a good spot there, is it? Unfortunately for Sam, then he was improving then, but unfortunately through the Ascari chicane, it caught him out, didn't it? And that is going to be costly indeed, as Smithy Almighty is almighty close to that kick sour then of Stead, then, who is also on a flying lap then in just a jiffy. Seen your dig, Kamara Racer, and how dare you, says Mushroom. So Smithy Almighty then is looking to get a bit of a tow there, but he might be a bit too close. We'll have to wait and see. Out of the pits comes Vintage, I believe. Yes, he is out of the pit lane then. He's got time to get himself one more lap on the board, and we will see how it goes then for Vintage. And here comes, no, it's not. We're watching somebody else then. Howsey it is. Howsey round up the Parabolica, then up to the line then for Howsey on the final attempt in qualifying for the Aston Martin. It's P11 then with a 19.8. And puts himself ahead, or quite a further ahead than of a bunch of the other drivers who have avoided that time there as well. Then good stuff indeed. Good stuff as well. Then for DeCanco, who's back out on track, then back out on another lap as well. Instead, then is going through the second Lesmo. Then he's got a bit of company there as well, because Smithy Almighty is, like I said, almighty close then to the back of that kick sound as we go down towards the Scari. Then he might be getting a nice tow there, but unfortunately that might unsettle his car at the same time. Then Reflection has invalidated his time. Then Hungry Styles has improved to P3, then ahead of Dynamo Dan for the time being. There's still more laps to come there in qualifying here as we head on to the back straight now down towards Parabolica. Reflections retired in the pit lane, and Stead is harvesting energy then into the Parabolica as well. Then my goodness me, it's going to be mighty close indeed. And Smithy Almighty is, like I said, it's been very close to Stead all over the back of this lap. Then Smithy Almighty, he stays P6 there as well. Then Stead stays P15 for the time being as well. Then my goodness me, I think that's qualifying done and dusted for these two drivers as well as they finish off their last in laps, I should say. Rocket Lee is retired in the pits as well. Then he is done and dusted. He's on pole position then for the Italian Grand Prix as it stands. Right, there we are. Chlorine Pilot's just about started a lap with 9 seconds to spare. Then I think is Dynamo Dan. Then I think Dynamo Dan might be in a bit of a spot of bother then as we go through then. But I think he has just started a lap then at the very last possible second there for Dynamo Dan, which is great news indeed for him. But wow, that was very close. Cutting it fine then for Dynamo Dan as we head into the first chicane. Right, then we've got pit stop action, then Mr. Elite, then Groove Ninja P10, then DeCanco is coming through the first chicane as well. Then he has, I think he's finished his qualifying. He's harvesting energy there, so he's P11 then at best. Then Liam, oh dear, Liam going wide at the second Lesbo. That's cost him a lap time then, unfortunately for Liam. Then he's going to be staying P13 at best then, unless his teammate of Vintage can do something about that as well. Then we'll wait and see. But here he comes then flying down towards the Parabolica. I believe that both the kick sours are done and dusted on their laps, and apart from maybe Rosa Sky behind us as well, go through into Parabolica then for Vintage, and let's see what Vintage can do then in the Haas. Then can he get himself up the order? Then I think there's a bit of wing damage there as well then for Vintage, but it does improve to P13 ahead of his teammate then for the time being. Liam unfortunately has invalidated his time, hasn't he? So unfortunately that's his qualifying done and dusted. Rosa Sky back in the pit lane. Dynamo Dan then the only driver out there that can improve on his previous time then, as Stead has retired in the pits. And here he comes then to finish off qualifying then in Parabolica. We go then for the final qualifying run. Then Dynamo Dan up to the line. Then can he beat his time? Can he beat pole position? Then he stays P4 on the second row of the grid. Then my goodness me, then Dig, says Kamara Racer. Then good stuff indeed. Right. And that is qualifying sorted, I think that is. DeCanco, sorry, back into the pit lane then to finish off our qualifying outing here as well then. So it's Rocket Lee then on pole position for Ferrari at their home Grand Prix. That's going to be pretty impressive stuff indeed. Hopefully he can hold on to it, but we'll wait and see then, because Reflection then is going to be chasing down. Same for Styles and Dynamo Dan. Then in the championship fight, then Rosa Sky and Smithy Almighty in the top of the Drivers' Championship order as well. Then so they're going to be looking to get some big points here tonight, then to keep on their form and keep up the fantastic form they've had so far this season, to be fair. But let's see how it's going to unfold. Of course, then Mushroom Star of Qualifying, says Ginger Age. Rocket Lee is the immortal of this tier, says definitely Duke as well. Then unfortunately he is just reserving tonight in place of Winnie then, but he is 0.2 of a second ahead of his next rival, which of course is Reflection. Hungry Stars in P3, Dynamo Dan in P4, Rosa Sky P5, Smithy P6, Chlorine Pilot P7, San in P8, then Mr. Elite P9, and Groove Ninja rounds off the top 10 then, as we'll flick through the rest of the order. But there we go then. So that is the qualifying order as well then for the Italian Grand Prix. I'm already out of breath. Make way for the Mushroom, says Serious Mushroom. So there we go then. And we will wait and see then how he is going to fare then in this Grand Prix. We've been told by Mushroom as well that it's dry in the race, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to go on there. But we will get ourselves loaded in and booted up then into the Grand Prix. Then thankfully the stream is holding up, so we'll hopefully be able to. It's a bit. It's not raining, so it's all right. Never mind then. Good stuff indeed. It's not too bad then. It is a bit overcast then compared to qualifying then, but we will get ourselves started in just a jiffy for a start of the Monza Grand Prix then. But of course, 27 laps of action to unfold. Then it is an action-packed circuit then with the highest speed over the lap then on the calendar, or of the calendar, I should say. So let's see how it's going to go then here in Monza then in just a jiffy then, as they get the higher strategy sorted then, having a cup of tea, maybe a bit of a biscuit or something to go with it. I'm not sure what Mushroom has with his tea, but we'll get ourselves sorted. Tyre strategies all sorted then, and everything else underway then for the start of the Grand Prix in just a jiffy. Right then. Oh, hopefully we'll get ourselves underway then very soon. Then he reckons he has mushrooms with his tea. Oh, I reckon he has mushrooms with his tea, says Ginger Asian. So tea and mushrooms, interesting combination, but there we go. Right, we'll crack on then as the formation lap does get underway, and we will have a look. We'll have a look, shall we? We'll have a look at the tyre strategies here as well then. So there is a mix and a majority on the medium compound tyre. Then the top 8 then from Rocket Lee in pole position then for the Tifosi then at their home Grand Prix leads us away then. He is on the medium compound tyres all the way down to San then in the McLaren in P8 then. So the top 8 all starting on that yellow medium compound tyre. Then Mystery, the highest of the hard compound tyre runners to start the Grand Prix. Groove Ninja also opting for the medium compound. Dukanko and Housie opting for the hard compound tyres, P11 and 12 respectively as well. Then both the Hasses of Vintage and Liam opting for the medium compound as well. Then looking for a faster first stint, that is. And then we've got Real Ashton and Stead, then P15 and 16 respectively. Then Wabstappen then on his debut, then is starting on the medium compound tyres, and Hakusaku then and Mushroom are bringing up the rear of the grid then as it stands. But of course, then we're looking to make their way through then later on in the race, starting on the hard compound tyres. So that's the way it's going to go then, as cut the first chicane and go for the lead, Mushroom, says Kamara Racer. Then goodness me, what disgraceful tactics that is in. Where are you hiding that secret mushroom, says Flippy as well then. So I don't know where's that secret mushroom gone then, I'm not sure. But anyway, on to the race. Medium, hard, medium, or a 3-stopper, which I don't think is going to be very realistic. Medium, medium, hard, soft, which I don't think makes much sense there. But nonetheless, we shall crack on then as we get ourselves around the final corner then to line ourselves up on the grid then for the start of the Italian Grand Prix then here in Monza. Then it's Bronze Season 10. It's round 14 of the season. And oh dear, that is a very aggressive tyre warming. To be honest, the tyre wear does carry over onto the race, so that might be a bit of a problem there for Rocket League, but hopefully he has got that all in hand then as well as we get ourselves lined up on the grid to start off the Grand Prix then in just a jiffy. And I need to switch to position changes, don't I? Wrong way. There we go. Fantastic. To see how everyone goes on the start of the race then as we get ourselves lined up then in the back of the order then to get ourselves underway for the Italian Grand Prix then in a few seconds time, I think. And just waiting for Serious Mushroom to park on this grid slot and we can crack on. So there we go then. I think we're ready. Hopefully we're ready then. Good stuff indeed. The 5 red lights are coming on here then at the famous Monza circuit. The 5 red lights are on. The 5 red lights are out. And away we go then for the Italian Grand Prix. It's a good start from Reflection then. I think you might get the jump then on Rocket League. Well, has he? As they go through in towards turn 1 then, making sure you avoid all the chaos then is Paramount into turn 1 as we go through here. And Rocket League locking up then as well. Then has almost lost the lead, I think, then to Reflection, but he's held on there very nicely indeed as well as you go through then in the back of the order. Oh, there's a Red Bull then having a bit of an issue. Then that's Real Ashton then, and Wab Staffen has lost out 2 places as well. Then Vintage and is down to P15, and he's lost out 2 places on the medium compound tyre then to Kanko and Stead as well as we go through into the second chicane now as well. And oh dear, there's all action. There's a Mercedes flying through, and that's Hakusa. Oh my God, then that was dangerous stuff indeed. And where's he gone now? He's off the circuit. Then he's lost out. Then I think he's conceded those places back then as well, hasn't he? So that's fair play indeed. And I think he misjudged the braking point there. Oh dear, he's teleporting now as well, then goodness me. So that's not good. As we crack on then into the Ascari chicane for the first time as we go through then into this famous corner then as well, making sure everyone gets through unscathed is the paramount most important thing, and they have done as well then. So Reflection and Rocket League then holds the lead, then Reflection P2, Hungry Stars and Dynamo Dan all hold station in P3 and 4, then Smithy Almighty's gained a place on Rosa Sky, then he's up into P5, then ahead of the Kick Salver. He's under pressure from Mr. Elite, who's gained 2 places on the hard compound tyres. Fantastic then. Sam has held station as well then. Unfortunately, the Chlorine Pilot is lost out 3 places there on the opening lap. Then can he get those back then in the next few laps as well? Then Liam's up 3 places into P11, then looking good indeed for Liam then in the Haas. Then Housy's held station in P12. Stead's up 3 places to Kanko's down 3 places then as we fly through into the first chicane. Goodness me, that Haas in the background then was very close indeed. Oh dear. There's more shenanigans there as well then as Liam, I think, has gone through the McLaren there. Housey then is looking to get himself in the mix as well as we go through then into the Curva Grande. It's 3 wide almost then into the second chicane. Then Liam backs out. I think that's very wise indeed. And now Chlorine Pilot and Housey are going through there. And there's contact then with Liam. Then he's off the circuit. Then what's happened there to Liam? He's had a spin then. I think there was contact with... he's got himself back on then, my goodness me. But Hungry Stars has got a 3-second penalty then. But Liam then back around then. He hasn't got any wing damage there, but I think there was a bit of contact between himself then and the McLaren of Chlorine Pilot as we went through then. Hungry Stars has lost out to Dynamo Dan into the Ascari chicane. That's a tight manoeuvre then, but they've got themselves through unscathed, but they've lost a lot of time to the top 2 there as well then, my goodness me. Dynamo Dan now up into P3 then ahead of Styles then. Styles then has got the first penalty of the evening, but of course we might see a lot of penalties coming rolling in as we go through into Parabolica. Then Smithy Almighty is going down the inside of them both as we go into Parabolica then, finishing off lap 2 of 27. Got to calm down. There's plenty of laps to go still as we head on to the main straight of lap 3 then, and this is going to get very tense indeed. Smithy's not got DRS. Then Dynamo Dan retakes the place, or does he? Yes, he does then, into the parabol and into the first turn, I should say. Goodness me. I'm a few corners behind, and Styles then is having a bit of a battle with Rosa Sky. And Rosa Sky trying to sneak his way through into the Curva Grande up into P5, then Styles down to P6, unfortunately for Styles then. And now San is putting the pressure on Mr. Elite as we head into the second chicane. Then Dynamo Dan covers off the move from Smithy. Then down the inside, there's an Alpine, there's a McLaren, there's all sorts there as well as we go through the second chicane. And flying through, there's a Williams of Groove Ninja up into P9 as well. Whew, my goodness me, it's getting tense for me out there. No, I'm not racing then. Wab Staffen has passed Haku then. Unfortunately, Haku seems to be having a bit of under pressure, I should say, goodness me, as we head into the second Lesbo. But he's got himself all composed and back together again then as we go through in towards Ascari then for the 3rd time. Then out in the lead, then Rocket Lee is leading the charge. 3 seconds back, there is Dynamo Dan, then Smithy Almighty, Rosa Sky, then there's a bit of a train forming, then as here comes Groove Ninja, then he's almost side by side, then he's pushing the McLaren into the Parabolica there. Housie looking to get his help move down the inside, not quite then for Housie, then he stays in P10 for now as well, then as we round the final corner, then we go through, then onto the main straight, and Rocket Lee has lost the lead, then Reflection with the DRS has taken that lead into the first corner as well as we go. Then I think these two need to work together then on the medium compound tyres to try and just eke that gap out as little by little then through the laps as we get towards the pit stop window. Dynamo Dan has held on to P3, then ahead of Smithy, then Rosa Sky stays P5, Hungry Stars stays P6, Mr. Elite stays P7. Sam then has had a bit of a moment then because he's lost a bit of time then to the pack ahead, and then we've got Groove Ninja and Housie having a bit of a battle as well then as we head into the Della Roger chicane. Who's got the inside, who's got the line then as we go through, then it's close indeed, and Groove Ninja's got a 3-second penalty there as well then, and Housie then is still on the attack then, but unfortunately they've got themselves through, but unfortunately they've lost a bit of time then to the McLaren just ahead of San, that is. Wow. It's all action here then on lap 4 then of the Italian Grand Prix. Then as my voice is already dying then, bowling time, says Flippy. Then relatively clean turn 1, to be fair, says Andy as well. Then says Flippy, as Liam's got a second penalty there. Sorry, Groove Ninja's got a second penalty. Then Liam's picked up a penalty as well then, unfortunately then for the Haas driver then, but he's doing a fair job then soldiering on in this race. Then Stead has been passed by the Mushroom. Then where has he gone? Stead's off the circuit then, that's why he's had an issue at Ascari then, unfortunately for the kick salve. Then he's back underway, and he's now under pressure then from Vintage to go down into that Parabolica turn, then into the corner we go, then flying through almost side by side then was Vintage has got the move done, I think. Has he? Yes, he has. And up into P15 I should say then, but there's going to be a bit more DRS to play with as we go through then down the main straight. Then Mushroom then is under pressure from Wabstap, and then as we got more action then as Stead has gone through, then what's going on here then? No DRS for Mushroom has been costly into this first corner then as we go through, and it's late on the brakes, but he stays P16. Haku's got himself up into P15 now on those hard compound tyres. Wow, they're not taking it easy, are they, out there? And we go through then into a lap 5 of top 5 of 27. Then goodness me, and Haku is being chased down by that Alpine of Serious Mushroom as we go through then into the first and second Lesmos. Then covering off the move then is the Mercedes drivers as we head through then into the first of the 2 Lesmos. Then Stead is going to be under pressure then because he's not got DRS to protect himself as we go through here, and DRS now available then for the Mercedes driver as we head down towards Ascari chicane. And I think he might be looking to line up a move then into the Ascari chicane. Then is he? He's going to go side by side. Then he's made the move. Then has got the inside. Then Stead then has to back out then of that move as we go through then into the next straight. Then and Mushroom is all over the back of the kick salve as we head through there. No battery then for the kick salve of Stead. Unfortunately, there's goodness me, they're all over the back of each other then, quite literally, as we go through into that final corner. And oh wow, it's close indeed, but they've managed to get themselves through unscathed. Then Hungry Stars has retaken the place then on Rosa Sky. Then he's up into P5, and Mr. Elite then is closing in the background there as well. On the hard compound tyres, it has to be said, then Groove Ninja and Sam then having a bit of a battle then as we go through then the first chicane, then that's cost him a bit of time then, and now Housie's going to be looking to get interested in this battle as well. Then Groove Ninja going to go around the outside, that Curva Grande, can he hold the place? And Housie's going to stick his nose in there, but unfortunately I don't think he can get himself through, and he can't quite get himself through on those hard compound tyres as we go through into the Della Roger chicane for the 6th time now, and we're flying through the laps then indeed, because this has been a frantic pace indeed set by Bronze then, and maybe they're not too worried about the tyre wear. Then Groove Ninja sliding it through the first Lesmo, and that's going to cost him a bit of time and a bit of tyres, and we head through then onto the back straight. Then Rosa Sky has lost the DRS then, and Mr. Elite could be looking to get his move done into the Ascari chicane. He's up into P6 now and trying to chase down that top 5. He's on the hard compound tyres is Mr. Elite then, so he's going to looking to go longer in the first stint. And DeCanco, where's he going then? DeCanco off the circuit. Chlorine Pilot then gets himself back through, and that was close indeed as well. But of course, DeCanco on the hard compound tyres just the same as Housie then, and Mr. Elite. There's a few on the hard compound tyre runners that started further down the grid, but of course we'll be able to make up some spaces, or places I should say even, as we go through then into the next few laps. And the tyres on the medium compound tyres then will start to be getting a bit wary, literally I think, then in this next lap or two. So it's a question of who can make them last. This Groove Ninja is back past the McLaren of Sam, then into the first chicane. And he takes that P8 position then away from the McLaren. Then P9 now for Sam as it stands in. We've got moves, then Mr. Elite, and Rosa Sky, then once again switching places. And Real Ashton's got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. That's a bit odd. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? He's literally gone. Well, he's back on. Has he got damage here? No, he seems to be all right then. So I'm not sure what's happened to Real Ashton, and hopefully he can get that front wing, or not front wing, sorry, get that removed then and sorted out after the Grand Prix with his race director. But there we go then. So Rosa Sky's back past Mr. Elite here. And they've lost a lot of time into the top 5 now as well. Then Mr. Elite then was looking to get himself into the mix, I think, then as well with the hard compound tyres then in the next lap or so. But he's staying right behind into the Ascari chicane then once again then for the Alpine. Oh dear, that back end stepping out as we go through the right-hander of the chicane as well then. But now back underway then, status quo I should say then, out in front. Rocket Lee has taken back the lead and is holding on to that lead as well quite nicely as well. Even with the DRS, I don't think Reflection will be close enough to make the move then into the first turn then at this pace. So holding on there very nicely indeed as Liam has retired. Then what's happened to Liam? Then he's had a crash. Has he? Is it a safety car or is it a VSC? It might be a VSC here. He's crashed in at the Ascari chicane, I think, there. Into the pits comes Groove Ninja and Wab Stappen. Maybe a good timely pit stop then for these two as well. Then pit stops for Vintage, and as we go through, then Real Ashton also into the box as well then for the Red Bull team. So that's interesting stuff indeed. I think it's just a VSC. So you've got to make sure you don't get caught out then by the Delta then on the restart then. So yes, unfortunately, Liam then the first retirement, then the only retirement so far then of this race then. Rocket Lee then holds the lead, but of course doesn't want to get a drive-through penalty then for speeding under the VSC as well then. Hopefully we'll be back underway then in just a jiffy, but good news indeed as we are back underway, and there's no drive-through penalties for anybody, which is fantastic stuff. But yes, we are back underway then, but we didn't worry, but maybe it's a good time pit stop then for both Groove Ninja, Wab Stappen, Vintage, and a Real Ashton army as well then, although it's a bit of a slow stop then for Real Ashton. He's back out now, but hopefully that was a scheduled stop then, a good time for a scheduled stop as well then for those on the medium compound tyres. We're back underway. And yes, it was a very slow pit stop then, I think, for Real Ashton. So unfortunately, not sure what happened there. Then he didn't seem to have any wing damage, but maybe there was a wing change in that pit stop as well. Then wait and see. Reflection then might have lost out with him with that VSC. He might have lost the DRS that he has done. As into the pits comes Smithy Almighty and Dynamo Dan then from P2 and 3 or 3 and 4, who knows, somewhere around there. It's going to be a race of the pit stops then between these two. As Housey has passed Sam then on the hard compound tyres, and Housey up into P6 there and heading into the first chicane. Then now we've got both the McLarens almost lying astern. Then there's going to be a bit of a pit shenanigans then as well, similar to the McLarens in real life at Monza. Who is going to pit first then, and what's the plan then for the strategy down at Papaya McLarens? Groove Ninja is going to be close indeed with Smithy Almighty into the first turn. Then not quite there to make a move then on the Ferrari then, but they stay status quo then, and Dynamo Dan's come up right behind his teammate there as well then, goodness me. So that one lap undercut then with the VSC has promoted Groove Ninja then into a race-winning position then on his debut full-time appearance as well. Then that's looking good indeed. Of course, he needs to hold on to that then as we go through the next few laps. We're only a third of the way through the Grand Prix at this point, as we head through then into the first chicane then for Real Ashton. Then the gap then 1.7 seconds then between Reflection and Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee is putting his foot down now, isn't he? As we go through the Parabolica then to finish off lap 9 then. Will we see some more pit stops then for the medium runners that have stayed out then in this race? And into the pits comes Rocket Lee. And Reflection follows him in as well then. Hungry Styles is staying out then. Hungry Styles then takes the lead of the Grand Prix as we go through then. Rosa Sky also stays out as well then. So there's a lot more drivers then trying to risk it then for a chocolate biscuit, that is, for this Grand Prix then. Mr. Elite then trying to get himself down the inside into the first chicane then on Rosa Sky then on those hard compound tyres. They'll be in much better nick than the mediums, I would imagine, as we go through then into lap 10 then. Both McLarens following Housey through then on those hard compound tyres. Then Rocket Lee out of the pit lane is going to be ahead of his teammate Smithy Almighty. Then Smithy Almighty's under pressure then from Groove Ninja, then down the inside, no, not quite then, and out of the pits comes the Aston Martin of Reflection, and he's behind Dynamo Dan then for the time being as well here. Instead out of the pits onto the medium compound tyres as well then for the Kick Sauber driver. And back underway we go. as we go through then into the second Lesmo then for Roz Sky. Then he's got a Mr. Elite's got a 2-second gap then to Hungry Styles then, but Styles, I would imagine, is thinking about a pit stop then on those medium compound tyres. Same for Roz Sky, same for both McLarens then, but they're still soldiering on out there very nicely indeed. Housley then is in the mix as well then on the hard compound tyres. Then he's going to get himself past the kick salver then and join up with Mr. Elite then, and that is a great exit then from the Ascari chicane to power along then into P3 then and passing the kick salver of, well, where's he going now? I'm not sure how he's doing there, but okay. And I think he's got some DRS then potentially on the Alpine of Mr. Elite. Then into the pits comes Styles then, former race leader, I should say. Then Rosa Sky also in the pits. Then have we got any McLarens in the pits? No, not both McLarens are staying out here and carrying on then on their medium compound tyres. They will have much fresher tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix compared to a lot of their rivals then, but we'll have to wait and see then how that fares. Smith Hill Mighty sets the fastest lap of the race. Then Rocket Lee is rocketing away. Then he has got the net race lead, of course, then, but he's got 6 seconds to catch up to those who have yet to pit then in this Grand Prix. Then Smithy Almighty then a net P2. So both Ferraris looking strong here at the Italian Grand Prix, then at their home Grand Prix. Then Williams following closely behind. That's Dynamo Dan and Groove Ninja. Then Reflection waiting in the wings as well then for the Aston Martin, the former race leader then, of course, in the early laps here as well then, and looking to get that place back, or those places back I should say, with a much fresher tyre, or 2-lap fresher tyre than compared to most of his rivals. Hungry Styles out of the pits just ahead of his teammate, who's done 3 extra laps and on their hard compound tyres then, but we'll wait and see if Verstappen can hold on to the back of that Hungry Styles, because he is pretty quick out there, is the Styles. Both McLarens have switched places into Ascari. Then is there going to be some pit stop shenanigans down at the Papaya McLaren garage? We'll wait and see then, but I would imagine, I'm pretty sure that one of them's got to think about pitting at some point in this race. And the lead McLaren on track then is Chlorine Pilot then, as we go through then, of course, on his full-time debut here then in the Italian Grand Prix, and he looks like he is going to be coming into the pit lane then to service that McLaren driver as well, McLaren car. Then here comes Sam then, of course he's powering on, he doesn't want to double stag behind his teammate, so he's going to do another lap then on the medium compound tyres. Chlorine Pilot then into the pits, then Saku into the pits as well then from the hard compound tyre, and calling it a day out as well. So there we are then. Potentially we might see some two stoppers out here then. The McLaren then of Chlorine Pilot then onto the hard compound tyres is going to lose out a couple of places as well then as we head out of the pit lane then for the McLaren. Then he's down in P14, but of course he has to remember that those fresh hard compound tyres will be playing a big factor. Then as Rosa Sky's gone very deep then trying to get himself past Decanco, then he has done just about as well. But that was close indeed as well. Then Vintage is right behind Chlorine Pilot, then medium compound tyres for Haku, then out onto the track in P16 and trying to get those tyres warmed up. Then Stead and Real Ashton and they're catching up to him as well then with their tyres already in the operating window as we go through then into Ascari chicane. And once again then we've got goodness me, I'm used to seeing the Aston Martin chasing for wins, but it's going to be Housley then who's putting the pressure on then as Mushroom has passed San. San's had an issue. San's off the circuit then at the Ascari chicane. He's got a 3-second penalty as well. Has he got a puncture? I think he's got a puncture then for the McLaren driver. He needs to keep it on the grey stuff, not the green stuff then. And he's got a puncture, I think, then has the McLaren then as he tries to get himself out of the way. Then those Williams drivers right behind will have to get themselves out of the way as well. I think then he's going to have to take evasive action as that McLaren has gone for a spin then at the Parabolica corner. Then unfortunately for Sam then it's trying to get himself back on the circuit here as well. Then my goodness me, and it's a puncture then I think for yes, the medium compound tyres are gone then as we go for another spin unfortunately for Chlorine Pilot. Then Mushrooms also in the pit lane and calling it a day on the hard compound tyres. Can he get himself back in the pit lane is the question for Sam then. Unfortunately, it's just not looking too good then for the McLaren driver. It was going so well, but it's come a cropper then with the medium compound tyres failing him at the Parabolica corner, or the Ascari corner actually. But he's got himself then there, that right left then rear left has got a puncture then, hasn't it, unfortunately for the McLaren. Then it's a big shame. He's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and unfortunately it's going so slowly through the pit lane as well then as we go through. Then we've got an issue for Groove Ninja off the circuit at the Della Roger chicane. He's back on the circuit behind Rosa Sky now. But wow, it's all kicking off here as well then, as Sam then has got himself onto a set of new boots as well. That was pretty quick. And back underway on the hard compound tyres. Unfortunately, it's going to need a safety car to get back in this race then for Sam, but hopefully he can soldier on then and hope that the gods are in his hands, I should say. Then Howsey then is holding on to the lead. Then he's got himself a gap, and a nice gap as well then to Mr. Elite, as they power through onto lap 14 of 27 here. Then medium compound tyres then on for Mushroom in the Alpine as well. Then I missed that because we were watching Sam then have a bit of an escapade there, but he's got himself sorted and back underway. Oh my god. Right then. Reflection is, as Groove Ninja has had an issue, then that was at the Della Roger chicane on the previous lap then, so that's released Reflection then to try and chase after Dynamo Dam now. Again, he's got slightly fresher tyres than I thought it was much fresher tyres then, but he's only one lap younger tyres than the Williams ahead of him then. And for Smithy Almighty, then Rocket Lee also pitted on the same lap as well, so he's got fresher tyres than his teammate then at the moment. Then both Ferraris then in the net race lead. Then of course Mr. Elite and Howsey have yet to make their pit stops in this Grand Prix then, but they're soldering on the hard compound of tyre. So we'll wait and see what they can do here as well as we go through then onto the back straight then down towards Ascari. And 1 second. Now I'm back. Right then. And Reflection then looking to chase after Dynamo down for that P5 position then as we go down the hill then and back up the hill towards the Ascari chicane then. Is he close enough to make a move then into the Sector 3 chicane? Then not quite. Then he stays behind yellow flags. It's a McLaren then. It's Sam. Sam's back in the pit lane. Unfortunately for Sam, then I think that's a pit and quit. Then I thought that was coming, but unfortunately for Sam, then out of the Grand Prix then on lap 14, then soon to be 15 there as we cross the line then for Howsey and trying to sprint away. Then he has got also almost a 2-second gap then to Mr. Elite. Then Rocket Lee and Smithy Almighty are closing in pretty quickly indeed as well. Then as we go into the first chicane, then Mr. Elite can see the Ferraris then flying down towards that first chicane right behind him in his mirrors. Then Reflection has passed Dynamo down then for P5 then into the first chicane as well. And there we go. So now the championship leader then is ahead of his championship rival then of Dynamo Dan. Then he's got one more rival to try and get himself past, and that is Smithy Almighty then in the Ferrari. Then, of course, he is leading the championship at this point in the race, I think. Good stuff. But we don't want to see that really, do we? We want to see Reflection do it because we don't like Smithy then. Just kidding. I love Smithy. He's great. That sounds really sinister, but never mind. I'm digging myself a hole here now. Smithy, I love you. There we go. Dynamo Dan then trying to get himself back in place at P5 then ahead of his championship rival. Then Reflection, then Wabstappen. Then we mentioned it when he came out of the pit. Then he was right behind his teammate Styles, and he's held station there behind his teammate Styles as well. Then, which is looking pretty good indeed to pull himself along. Then he might start to struggle in the latter laps then on those hard compound tyres as Real Ashton is into the pits then for a new set of medium compound tyres. And he's back out then, still on the lead lap then for Real Ashton as well. Then good stuff indeed. As we've got Rocket Lee, no, it's Mr. Elite into the pits. That's why he has got himself past. Then Rocket Lee back up into P2. Then Mr. Elite then calling it a day on his hard compound tyres now. And he will be going for a set of medium compound tyres in the Alpine garage. Where will he be spat back out then into this race? Then we'll wait and see. But he's going to be quite a way down then compared to his lofty heights then as well then earlier on in the Grand Prix then. But of course he'll be on a much fresher and much faster tyres in as we get ourselves restarted. Then it's going to be close between himself and his teammate then into the first turn. Then who's going to go for what then as we go into the first corner then? And Mr. Elite has just about held on to P12 then ahead of Mushroom for the time being. Then Vintage also in the mix as well then. Haku then on the medium compound tyres is in the points paying position. Then Groove Ninja has been passed by DeCanco into the Della Roger chicane then, and the Red Bull is now ahead into P9 then for the Red Bull driver DeCanco, that is. Haku then holding on to the final points paying position then as it stands, with that penalty might promote Stead then into the mix as well then for some good points there for the Kick Sauer team as we go through. Then Real Ashton, then fair play indeed for Real Ashton, then soldiering on out there as well. Then oh dear, that was going to be a scene of an accident there, as he looked like he was going into halfway between the pits and the track itself, but thankfully avoided any issues there as well then. Howsey then is coming into the pits then, calling it a day on his hard compound tyres 1 lap later than Mr. Elite. He's down in P12 then, is Mr. Elite on the freshest tyres of the field. But what will Howsey be having to say about that then on his medium compound tyres as well? Then Reflection up into P3, then he's past Dynamo Dan, but Dynamo Dan is still holding on there as well. Then Styles then P5, Wabstappen then on his debut as well then is into P6 then, and following his teammate very nicely indeed. Howsey then motoring out of the pit exit. Then where is he going to be in respect to Mr. Elite then as we go through through. Then there is the Aston Martin on the pit exit. Then Mr. Elite's gone through. Then Mushroom might be able to sneak through as well. Then into the first turn. Oh, it's side by side through the first chicane. Then that's close indeed between the Alpine pair. Then Mushroom, I think, is snuck ahead then and holds on to that P12 then. But Housie is fighting back then as we go through the Curva Grande. Then this is where we're going to get spicy indeed. And Mushroom then is defending them. But Housie's then on his fresh medium compound tyres might be able to sneak through the Della Rosa chicane. Then it's going to be close indeed, side by side. Mushroom holds on. Brilliant stuff indeed, and well done indeed from both drivers as well. Then Vintage waiting in the wings if there's anything untoward going on there as well then. But as we go through then, Chlorine Pilot then has joined up to the fight then with Decanco and Groove Ninja as well. Then Rosa Sky, unfortunately, a bit of no man's land as it stands. But of course, we'll wait and see what the tyre situation is like then towards the end of the Grand Prix. Verstappen has lost a bit of DRS then to his teammate, or has he? He's got himself back in that detection point, I think, or has he? Again, I'm not sure where the detection point is, to be honest. Yeah, I think he might have done it. So good stuff. Has he got it? I don't know who's got it. Has he got it? I can't tell. Somebody tell me. He's got it. Good stuff. Right, that's a lot of confirmation there. But as Groove Ninja is back in the pit lane. So Groove Ninja has called it a day on the hard compound tyres, then struggling with tyre wear then for the Williams driver. And he's going to be back in the box then. He'll be onto a fresh set of tyres then. So he'll be going pretty strong then in this next few laps. Then the next 9 laps. Then he's done 2/3 of the race. He's going to be coming out in P16 then, but of course on a fresh set of hard compound tyres again then for the Williams driver. Then let's see what he can do in this Grand Prix then. Verstappen then has held on to the DRS then of his teammate for now as well, which is going to be great news indeed then for the Racing Bull driver. Then he wants to use that DRS to protect himself as well from any attacks from drivers behind then on slightly fresher tyres later on in this Grand Prix. Then the top 5 have spread out a bit at the moment, but Hungry Styles is catching up to Dynamo Dan in the background. There's the foreground. That's the Williams then. And that is both the Racing Bulls flying through the Ascari chicane as we've got Chlorine Pilot then passing Decanco for P8 as well, then up into P8 for the McLaren on his full-time debut. And has got himself past the Red Bull. Then there is Mr. Elite right in the background. Then Decanco's tyres might be starting to scream then as Mr. Elite is going to be closing in then very quickly indeed then in that Alpine machine. Housie then P11 on his fresh medium compound tyres. He'll be motoring along very quickly indeed as well, as will Mushroom then on his medium compounds and Vintage then waiting in the wings. Then Haku then up into P14. Stead now up into the points paying positions as well then, but Groove Ninja might have something to say about that as into the pits. Decanco's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh dearie me, then unfortunately with Decanco that's going to be added on to his race time then, unless he does make an unscheduled stop I should say. But medium compound tyres going on then. And back underway then, a bit of a late release there for the Red Bull team then is going to cost him indeed as well. The Haku's got a 3-second penalty then on the main straight somehow. So that's a bit odd, but nonetheless, we'll crack on then. Decanco is going to come out in P... Has he got problems there? No, he's back underway. He's going to come out in P16, but of course he will have that penalty to serve then. But of course now as well, he'll have much fresher tyres than the rest of the field. Then we saw some punctures. Then we saw Sam pick up a puncture then as well. Then earlier on in this race, then he did 13 laps on the medium compound tyres then. So that could be a bit of a factor then towards the end of this Grand Prix as well. Then we'll wait and see. Verstappen then holding on very nicely indeed then to his team, and then that could be a fantastic result indeed for the Racing Bull team as it stands. But Ferrari then are going to trump that as well then with a 1-2 as it stands as well then, which will be fantastic indeed for the Tifosi at their home Grand Prix. But hang on, we've got a pit stop then. Smithy Almighty then is calling it a day on the hard compound tyres. Then he's relinquished that P2 and is calling it a day then. He's going to be into the box then and putting on a new set of tyres. Then Verstappen is also in the pit, so it's going to be a 2-stop strategy then for some of these drivers out here. Wow. Medium compound tyres going on the Ferrari of Smithy Almighty then, but he's going to be dropping down the field as all his competitors fly through down this main straight then out of the pit lane. Then Smithy Almighty then, it's going to be close indeed as we've got more pit stop action for Serious Mushroom and Vintage as well then. Goodness me, it's a 2-stop race out here. Smithy Almighty then out in P9 then. So does that mean we've got more stops to come for the top 6 then as well? Then we'll wait and see. Then Mr. Ali might have to make another pit stop, or think about another pit stop I should say. Groove Ninja has passed Stead then up into P11 now, of course, with the pit stops all unfolding here as well. Then my goodness me, it's action packed to say the least. Then Serious Mushroom out in P14, Vintage P15, Haku onto the medium compound tyres out in P16. and back underway. So there we go then, good stuff indeed. Real Ashton then, fair play indeed. Real Ashton then soldiering on in this Grand Prix as well then, and cracking on then in this race as well to see what he can get then towards the end of the Grand Prix. You never know what might happen, as Hungry Styles then is now all over the back of Dynamo Dan. Then he's got himself, he's lost his compatriot then, or his teammate I should say, then into the Parabolica we go. Then Rocket Lee into the pits as well. Then Reflection's going to inherit the lead, and can Reflection eke those tyres to the end of the race? Then we'll wait and see. Then Medium Compounds going on the Ferrari then, so both Ferraris have had to pit then to get themselves to the end of this Grand Prix safely, that is, then to make sure there's no punctures in sight. Then Rocket Lee will come out of the pit lane. Dynamo Dan's also in the pit lane then for the Williams team. Then my goodness me, there's loads of pit stops still to come in this Grand Prix. Then can the top three, can the top four get themselves to the end of the Grand Prix from here? We'll wait and see. Then Howsey then up into P6, then Rocket Lee coming out of the pit lane ahead of his teammate then in P7. Wow. And Dynamo Dan then going to be P9, I think, then, or is he? Because Verstappen is getting closer into the first turn. He stays behind. I think he's very wisely thought about that. And Stead's got a 10-second over speeding in the pit lane. Oh my goodness me, it's going to be chaos then in the pit lane as well. Then all sorts of issues there with the pit entry. But there we go. Nonetheless, we crack on as into the second chicane. Then Della Roger chicane we go. Then Rocket Lee is now caught up to Howsey. Then as Howsey's going to be under a bit of pressure, then he's still on good, decent medium compound tyres, but not compared to Rocket Lee, then who's on the freshest tyres just out of the pit lane as well. Then he's going to have some DRS to play with as we go down towards Ascari as well. Then as we power down the hill, then DRS open for the Ferrari, then passing the Aston Martin. Then Stead's got a 3-second penalty then for track limits, and at turn 1 and 2, then goodness me, as we go through then into Ascari, then Howsey's being pushed through the corners then by the Ferraris as we head down towards Parabolica now. And here comes Smithy then, he's looking to line the move then into that final corner we go then, and he has got himself past the Aston Martin of Howsey then for now. But Howsey might be able to fight back then with some DRS then into the next straight. Then Mr. Elite then is P5 then, he's now going to be under pressure. You can see those Ferraris in the background, and this could be a phenomenal Ferrari performance then if they can get themselves back into that 1-2 position that they were in then a few laps ago then. But now into the first chicane we go. Smithy Almighty then almost into the back of his teammate there as we push them through into lap 22 then. Right then, Reflection has not stopped then. We saw some pit stops then for those on the hard compound tyres around this sort of time then for their hard compounds as well. Then Hungry Styles then is soldiering on, then same for Rosa Sky and Chlorine Pilot. Then Mr. Elite is going to be under pressure then very soon then from both Ferraris then, and Howsey's coming with them as well then as we head into the first and second. Lesmo then on lap 22, then 5 laps of action to unfold in the next few minutes then as well. Then as this could be a fantastic ending. It could be also a catastrophic ending. We'll wait and see. Then Rocket Lee has caught up to Mr. Elite then, is trying to get himself through then with the aid of some DRS then down towards Ascari. Then can he make the move? He is too far back to make that move then into the chicane. So stays P6 for now, but here comes both Ferraris once again then onto that back straight then, and they are getting close indeed to the back of that Alpine then, aren't they, as we head into the Parabolica corner. And wow, it's close indeed as well then as the Alpine holds them off. Then he's not got DRS as Mr. Elite to try and protect himself. Groove Ninja's got a 3-second penalty then on his hard compound tyres then. But here we come then onto the main straight then. Which ways are the Ferrari going to go then as we head then onto that main straight then? Smithy Almighty then trying to get himself past the Alpine of Mr. Elite as well then, heading into the first turn then. Is he going to try and make a move on his teammate? Not quite then. And they stay. Oh my goodness me, Rocket Lee then a bit deep then into the first turn, but he holds on to P5. Then they stay status quo. Then Mr. Elite has lost out to both Ferraris. Now they're both on a charge then, and this is fantastic. Then Tifosi must be up in the stands and applauding this, because they are powering their way through and into the Della Roger chicane. They've now got Chlorine Pilot then in P4 to try and pick their next target as we go through then into the first and second. Lesmo then on lap 23 then. The question is, can they get the gap back then to the drivers on the hard compound tyres then? Will there be punctures then for those on the hard compound tyres further ahead as well? Then we'll have to wait and see now, but it is going to be a tense affair then to the checkered flag. Then here we go then down towards Ascari once again. Then the both Ferraris on a charge as we go through here, and flying along then up behind that McLaren then of Chlorine Pilot. Then he's going to be starting to those mirrors filled then with the scarlet red of the Ferrari, then heading into the Parabolica now. Will they be able to make a double pass once again then? to get themselves through and up into P4 then as well. As we go through, then Smithy makes contact with the back of Rocket League. Goodness me. And that's going to unsettle the car for sure then. Rocket League, the Rocket League, I'm not sure he knew much about that, to be fair. As they're now onto the main straight we go, then Rocket League is going to try and power past the McLaren of Chlorine Pilot, and he's got that done. And now can he charge on after the podium places as we go through? Then that's, I think, Real Ashton getting out of the way then of the lead drivers. Then fair play indeed for Real Ashton. And he has done a solid job then of soldiering on in this race. And it's not all over yet. Let's put it that way. As Rocket League got on the grass a bit there, then Chlorine Pilot's been put under pressure from Smithy then, but can he hold on to the DRS then of Rocket League to at least protect him from the second Ferrari on the circuit as it stands? Rocket League's picked up a 3-second penalty then, but I'm not sure that's going to cost him any places at the end of this Grand Prix then, unless he can get himself past Rosa Sky into the podium places as well then, because I think he'll be able to power away then from those of Chlorine Pilot then and the rest of the field. Then we've only got 4 laps remaining, including this one, as we now head on to the straight down towards the Ascari. Then Chlorine Pilot has not got DRS, then this could open the door for Smithy to make the move then into the Ascari chicane. Then Housy's past Mr. Elite then for P7 then, and up into P5 goes Smithy Almighty, then passing the McLaren driver, heading through then Housy, then passing Mr. Elite then for P7. Mr. Elite then is they're both on slightly older tyres than compared to those around them as well then, so that could get into a bit of a compromise then later on in this Grand Prix. We'll wait and see. Right, then Chlorine Pilot then is holding on to the back of that Ferrari then of Smithy Almighty. Then Smithy then having struggled to get past the McLaren then has cost himself DRS then to his teammate then of Rocket League then, who's now powering along then to try and get that gap back up then as we go through into turn 1. Can Chlorine Pilot fight back then for that position? Then he's too far back to make the move then, and now here comes Mr. Elite then on Housy into the first turn. Then we go side by side through here then, as close indeed. Housy has to give way then, and now on the exit I think Housy's going to power back through then. Is he? Yes, he is then, with the inside line through the Curva Grande. There's Real Ashton in the background, and fair play indeed to Real Ashton for soldiering on in this Grand Prix, as I keep saying. But it is great to see then that drivers don't give up then when things start going bad. Then as we go, Mr. Elite then, and Housy once again repeating the feat then into, oh my goodness me, Real Ashton's gone through both of them, and Housy holds on then. Oh my goodness me, all this battling is bringing Dynamo Dan and Wapstappen back into the mix as well. Then Groove Ninja could be looking to get himself in the mix as well then, if it carries on for the next 2 laps or so. Out in front, we've got a 5.7 second gap between Reflection and Hungry Styles. Then we'll have a look at the penalty situation as well. Then 3 seconds for Styles then would not cost him a place. Then Rocket League would lose a place potentially to both himself and the McLaren of Chlorine Pilot then, but I think you might hold on to that P5 position as it stands. Mr. Elite's picked up a penalty. That's going to be putting him at risk from Dynamo Dan and Wapstappen as well then. 3 seconds then for Hakusa. Then that's 9 seconds added to his tally, unfortunately, but I think he'll hold on to that final points paying position. Then Dekanko might lose out to Mushroom and Vintage here, and Groove Ninja should be a-okay. But that's the situation as it stands. On to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, and we've got a problem then, have we? It's a slow Aston Martin there. Oh dear, Dynamo Dan's got himself past Mr. Elite then into the first turn, and yes, he has done good stuff indeed. Housy is next to, oh dear, next target I should say. I got a bit wobbly there, but oh dear, is he going to squeeze through down the inside into the Curva Grande? Yes, he is. Or is he? Because I think Housy might look into try and hold on to that place then into the Della Roger chicane. Not quite then. We'll come back to that then, because we've got, I thought Reflection was going slowly, but he might just be trying to make sure those tyres get to the end of the Grand Prix from here. Hungry Star's the same then. Rosa Sky could be under pressure then. Rocket League then has now got some DRS on, or has he? He's not got DRS, but he's got him all over the back then of that kick sour then as we go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix then. Smithy Almighty then has dropped Chlorine Pilot then for the time being. Then Dynamo Dan is holding off Housy then, and here in the background we've got Wapstappen then and Mr. Elite looking for a bit of a fight as well then into the Ascari chicane. Well, it's all action here, let's just put it that way. So go through then. Now, the question is then, can Reflection do 18 laps then on those hard compound tyres? They are going to be absolutely screaming then as we finish the final lap. Then we're on to that final lap now as Rocket League has taken P3. Oh dear, Rosa Sky's, where's he gone then? Rosa Sky's off the circuit. He's got a puncture, that's why the Rosa Sky's got a puncture then on the hard compound tyres then. He's going to have to try and soldier on in this race, and he can't slow the car down then into the first chicane. And my goodness me, he's got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting as well. Then Rosa Sky then is going to be out of the Grand Prix, or out of the points paying positions, unfortunately. And it's a long lap indeed with a puncture, especially at the speed that these drivers are going at, without the punctures, I should say. But Rosa Sky then, and fair play indeed. He's going to try and soldier on here, but it's just not going to be good luck then indeed. Knock on his way then in this race. And he's got a 3-second penalty, then trying to avoid all the carnage and around him as well. Then as the cars try and come through, and they have got through as well. Then into P9, then goes Mr. Elite. Then I thought that was going to be a calamitous issue there, but Rosa Sky then, unfortunately, then he's going to be just ruined this then, unfortunately, on the final lap of the Grand Prix then. But on the final lap of the Grand Prix, then, someone who's done 18 laps on their hard compound tyres, then, he has kept the tyres alive, then, he is the tyre whisperer, then. It is Reflection who crosses the line to get himself the win here in Italy, then, and he wins the Italian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed then from the Aston Martin driver then, a drive of a potential champion, then we'll wait and see then, but fantastic stuff indeed here at round 14. Then Reflection is your race winner then for the Italian Grand Prix. Hungry Styles brings it home then in P2. A brilliant result indeed then from Hungry Styles as well there. Fantastic stuff indeed there as we go through then. Rosa Sky, fair play indeed to just try and get yourself to the line then, and heart goes out to Rosa Sky as well then after that horrible last lap puncture. Then we saw it for Styles in Miami as well then. Rocket Lee rounds off the podium places then, a fantastic result then for Ferrari as well then. Smithy in P4, both Ferraris doing well then here in Monza then. Victorian Pilot then P5 on his full-time debut. Donna Dan P6, Housley P7, Wab Stappen then on his ALR debut in P8 then. Mr. Elite P9 then. Groove Ninja P10 on his full-time debut as well then. Mushroom P11, Decanco P12, Vintage P13, Haku then P14, or where is he? I don't know where he is. Rosa Sky will come home, I think, to claim the final points paying position, even with that puncture then. So a fair play indeed then to get yourself to the line. It's P15 for Rosa Sky then in the end. And wow, indeed. My goodness me then, what a race that was indeed as well. And there are the podium celebrations then, as Reflection then on the top step, then Hungry Styles then in P2 and Rocket Lee in P3. My goodness me. So there we are then. As I think there's going to be a few drivers then ruining the strategies there as well then in this Grand Prix. There are the Tifosi, then they've got one driver on the podium to celebrate that fantastic result indeed as well then. Aston Martin and Racing Bulls then join the Ferrari on the podium steps as well here then for the Italian Grand Prix. Wow, what a race. Absolutely epic all the way through then. I'm losing my voice. I was losing my voice before what was it? Race started, to be fair, in qualifying. Wab Stappen sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well then, so he gets that extra point as well for himself. And there is the order then. That is the jump. That is the way the cookie crumbles there in Monza, or the pizza crumbles, I should say. But congratulations indeed then to everyone who made it to the checkered flag then as well. And we will get ourselves hopefully some interviews in Reflection, Hungry Styles and Rocket Lee. I need to add them to the party because nobody's done it for me. 1 second. 1 second. Reflection, Hungry, Rocket. There you go. Blimey, what a race. And congratulations indeed then to our race winners as well then. And wow, I've lost my breath after that one. We'll see if we get anybody joining us for the interviews in just a jiffy then. But wow, good stuff indeed then to all drivers who got themselves to that checkered flag then for the Italian Grand Prix. And there we are. Then we've got somebody with the stream on. Turn your stream off. That's very annoying. Reflection then, a fantastic race win indeed. I'm going to have to mute you if you put the stream on. Well, it's not Rocket League, so which one of you do? So
I don't watch the stream, mate, unless.
Oh, that's horrible stuff indeed. Wow, no, that's terrible. I can't interview you now then, but never mind. No, we'll crack on then.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic race win indeed. And how was that from your point of view then? After you saw your rivals pitting for another stop?
Made up, because when I come out of the pits, I was stuck behind the two Williams, and I think they were kind of working together because they held me up massively when my tyres were at the peak on the hards. So I thought my race was done. I thought if I can get Smithy, I'll be happy. But they both pitted again, and I was always going for a one stop. I knew it would work. I saw it worked in Silver last night. So I was always going to go for the one stop. and it panned out well. So,
And when
and
you
my
saw your
wheel
rivals,
held out.
oh, your wheel, yeah, your pedals and well worked very nicely
Yeah,
indeed.
my pedals and my wheel.
Finally,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but sorry, when you saw your rivals pitting for the second stop, did you think, or did you know you had that win in the bag then, or did you think it's about nursing those tires to the end?
I was nursing them the last 3 laps. My tyres were on 72%. I noticed on lap 25. So I was just trying to stay off the curbs the best I could and just take it easy into the corners and just burn my ERS down the straights. I
Great stuff
saw I had
indeed.
a big gap and I saw that Rocket and Hungry Styles both had a 3 second penalty as well. So I was quite calm and collected on them last few laps.
Well, congratulations, and I think you take back the championship lead as well. Then heading into Azerbaijan next week. Then, so that's great stuff from Reflection and our race winner here in Monza. Well done indeed. Then we'll catch up with you hopefully next week as well with another podium celebration. But
Fingers
congratulations.
crossed. Thank
Well
you.
done indeed there. Hungry Styles then P2 after that race as well. Then it looked like you had a bit of a struggle then on the medium compound tyres. Then in the second part of that first stint, can you tell us about what happened there? Oh, hang on 1 second. I've got you muted because you had the stream on. 1 second. Go again. And when you like reflection, when you saw the Ferraris, the other drivers around you pitting, then did you think that you were shored on for a podium? Well, it didn't matter in the end as you scored a fantastic P2 once again. Then, and of course, as we head on to Baku, then we'll wait and see then if you're back on the podium there as well. Then, so congratulations then P2 tonight. Rocket Lee then back with a bang. Then let's just say that with P1 on the in the qualifying, and a fantastic pole position indeed. Then and a podium as well for Ferrari at the home Grand Prix. How are you feeling after that one?
Whew, absolutely knackered, but feeling great.
It was a great drive indeed. Then, and of course the pole position then had it secured. Then yourself and Reflection in the first stint sort of stormed off quite a bit. To be fair, what was your thoughts then in that towards the end of that first stint? Then when the medium compound tyres started to die a bit.
To be honest, I went into today's race with a little bit of a unknown. I haven't done much practice. So I'm quite rusty, so I wasn't really expecting anything. But
And
to eke out the tyres to pull away with Reflection in the first stint, that just took. Yeah, I couldn't do it again.
And did you start to struggle on those hard compound tyres as well? We saw yourself and your teammate pitting, and then quite a few others pitting as well. Then apart from the likes of Reflection and Hungry Stars as well, did you know you had the pace to get yourself back in the podium places?
I did struggle on the hards coming towards the end, so that's why I ended up pitting. Pace wise, I didn't think I was going to get podium with how close Smithy was behind me. But I'm just happy to be back on the podium.
Great result indeed, then, and well deserved. Then after that fantastic performance, the Ferrari fans will be very happy with you as well. So well done.
Just go see.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. Congratulations then to our podium drivers. Then we'll have some more action. Then we'll get this. Firstly, we'll download this stream and we'll put it onto the ALR YouTube for everyone to watch it. But we'll get some more action then underway then tomorrow night then for the 100% League. We're in the US of A then as we start off the American side of the calendar, and we'll crack on then with that from tomorrow night then at 7:30 p.m. So stay tuned to ALR. There is plenty more action coming up then, and we'll see you soon.